All right. Good morning, and welcome to the Media Speaks live Saturday morning news show. We are live. I'm David Lake, otherwise known as D Lake for Prez. I'm joined this morning by the technician on a mission, Kyle Phillips.
I wasn't fully prepared.
How you doing, D-Lake? Glad to
Doing
be
great.
here.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm actually coming to you live from an internet connection, an AOL internet connection. I don't know why. We were talking about it before we went on air. It's kind of annoying. I just upgraded my internet substantially for this
great.
show, and look at my video feed.
You look
I
like
look
Mario.
like it's 1993. Yeah, I look like Super Mario. You can't even read the Media Speaks.
We are also joined this morning by Sam I.B. DeGangi, Sam of the Correct Views and the band Passing Time, Samuel.
Greetings, unsettled food, and welcome to the Saturday edition. The only news you're going to get on a Saturday that's live and not like played from last Friday. So even though Kyle is pixelated, make sure you stay with us. You're going to like hearing the news, even if you don't like watching it.
Right. Yeah. There's been a lot. There's been a lot happening this week, and why don't we just jump right into it? Do you guys? What would you rather talk about first? Kate Upton and Jennifer Lawrence's boobs, Steven Sotloff being decapitated. I kind of like to talk about beheading porn. I saw a link.
All right, let's talk about
Why is everybody
beheading.
calling that beheading fake? I have not had a chance to see it as I should. Why is everyone calling that beheading fake? That doesn't make any sense to me. The guy either came home to his family or he didn't.
Yeah, that's definitely, it looks real. I mean, people are always going to find
That's
conspiracy
stupid
theories in anything.
comments. Yeah, people leave comments with no thought in them whatsoever.
But what I find interesting about these beheadings is I didn't watch the second one. I can assume it's pretty much the same as the first one. I heard it's even the same guy doing the beheading. I watched the first one, and you listen to the speech that he gives, and he pretty much says, hey, we're going to keep doing this until you fucking Americans stop fucking around down here and let us in the Middle East handle our own shit. This is our territory. Get the fuck out. And then you read the newspapers the next day, and it goes, do we need to attack ISIS to stop these beheadings?
Rand Paul had a good point, though, Kyle. While nobody can be much more in favor of being a non-interventionalist than Rand Paul. Just about nobody. However, he had a very good point. Whether you are Democrat, whether you're a fucking green way out there person, or maybe you are more libertarian, freedom-minded, somewhere in the middle, all of those groups, with the exception of maybe extreme fascists or something, are in favor of global trade and global business with each other. We might not like the way America does it, but our Coca-Cola plants are over there. Our oil refinery businesses. We have business in these countries. And that aspect, not all intervention is wrong, because in order for it to be, you would have to pull us out of all business ties. Now, I'm not saying that America's not being greedy and going after the oil. What I'm saying is, even if they weren't, at some point, you have to stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, you are destroying the business of the world here.
Or you can bring those Coca-Cola plants back to the United States where they belong. That's how I look at it. No, I don't mind that.
No, I don't. No, not even those ones. That's not what I mean. I mean the American companies that allow Coca-Cola to be there, the people that would have to be there, even if we were doing everything right. There would have to be a certain number of people, for instance, from Microsoft in Iran or Iraq or something, if they're selling in these operating systems there, and business is running as everyone wants it to.
So let those private businesses, let Microsoft and Coca-Cola and Nike hire Blackwater themselves. That doesn't mean the government needs to get involved in it. Every time that we go and we get involved in this shit, it's been getting worse and worse and worse since the 80s. I mean, the big one obviously in 2001, but it's only getting worse the more we interfere. And in that video, which we can't play on the show or we'll get removed immediately, the guy pretty much says, and I'm not saying he's a nice guy, I'm not saying that I support ISIS or anything crazy like that, But he says before he cuts the guy's head off, I'm cutting his head off because you guys won't fucking leave. You won't go away. And then we come back in the media and we go, well, obviously this means that we need to intervene even more. And it's like, no, it fucking doesn't. It means we need to leave those people alone. And are they going to fight for another 500 years after we leave? Probably. But why are we involved in it? The more we get involved, when you get involved in a foreign affair, in a foreign military affair, all you're doing is creating one enemy. Whether it be the enemy, whether the enemy is good or bad, whether you're fighting for moral good reasons or not, you are creating an enemy because you are fighting someone else. We don't need to be there. We don't need to be fighting. I think we should let's look at this rationally. Obviously, as a libertarian, I prefer the side of this where we completely pull out and we don't have foreign aggression with our military. That's the side that I side with. But the other side of this, the other way we could go, which I disagree with, but at least it makes rational sense, is go in there, full fucking force, 100%, all of our military, AK-47s, AR-15s on the streets, and once we get everything under control and we get everybody on lockdown, we just move 50% of fucking Iowa and Pennsylvania down there and start building condos and casinos and movie theaters.
You know
and
what?
eventually Akbar won't be able to fight when every morning when Akbar wakes up, Gary down the street, hey Akbar, like how your lawn's looking after a few years. Ah, fuck. How are you doing, Gary? You know, eventually...
Kyle, Sam, the reason that I brought up the beheading porn videos is I believe that they're actually part of a provoking America and even the UK to get more involved, considering it was supposedly 2 American journalists that were decapitated by a British guy who's working for ISIS. Look, never mind the nude Kate Upton pics leaked online. Today we're discussing the damn beheading porn videos. You know the ones.
How about let's just discuss all porn. This will be the porn episode.
Well, yeah. Let me get into this, Kyle, because I was sort of writing an article the other night. Those videos that are hard to find, and if you watch them, you could be a terrorist for watching the videos. Okay, Kyle, I know you saw Jennifer Lawrence's tits. Okay?
Yeah.
So you could be a terrorist. Listen to me.
I might be.
Forget the fact you just want to do your research. Let's say, like I have, you managed to find the videos early on, and you saw some of them before they hit the memory hole. I understand if maybe you can only go off images now, but according to reports, you didn't really miss much if you were looking for an actual decapitation money shot. You can't call these. This is like terrorist soft porn. Okay, the mean terrorist starts a couple slices that produce no blood before the camera fades to black, and they've got 2 professional cameras, and I'm going to get into a little bit that what we see in those videos we don't see in any other ISIS type videos. The production quality, the video quality. Now, to be clear, and no offense to the amazing audio video production of the terrorists, but an amateur rookie could make a bloody head on a body image in Photoshop rather easily. Now, to be clear, I'm not asking or wondering if these 2 men did in fact die or not. They probably did. Okay? I'm not calling into question the legitimate truth of these videos coming from the Islamic State. That's what I'm calling in. Or another interested party. See, because I think that the U.S. and the UK are working together to put out these videos through the CIA and MI6 to get us more involved, to get Americans outraged, to get our blood boiling. Look, the sarin gas attacks of last year didn't work. When we were going to go fight with the rebels, and we armed ISIS, and John McCain even said this week, yeah, we had to arm ISIS. He messed up and said that. Look, in the videos, both the James Foley and the Stephen Sotloff beheading videos, the executioner, called Jihadi John, is clad in what looks like a ninja costume purchased at Party City, with no dust on it. Now,
yeah, and the quality is amazing in those videos.
The quality is amazing, Kyle, right?
And let me just point out too. I mean, if you remember when Al Qaeda was releasing the old Osama bin Laden videos in 2001 through
with the video layers. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, those videos that between 2001 and 2007ish. Those videos were being shot on a big fucking over the shoulder VHS recorder, and they're really shitty quality. There was no edits. We just got the straight raw tape. And back then, like 2003, Adobe Premiere, digital camcorders, lapel microphones, these things did exist, but they went all of a sudden from like the terrorist videos we're used to seeing are like these shitty Handycam 1990 Full House movies, and then we went all of a sudden to like Adobe Premiere 7.0 HD with like an iPhone 1080p recording and like lapel mics, because the audio, I do think that those videos might be chroma key. They might be green screen, because if you're out in the middle of the desert, you're not going to get crystal clear, crisp audio without, and you don't see a microphone. They have a boom mic or something. You hear no wind, you hear no audio interference. That looks like it was shot in a studio to me. And we're all people. We do a lot of video editing here. Me, D-Lake, and Sam. So like, when I look at that, I say that was not shot outside. You don't get outside footage with that clean of audio.
Right, and Sam, those are part of the reasons why a lot of people are saying it's a hoax. Now, I just was talking about the terrorist ninja costume that he got at Party City. I mean, obviously, InfoWars can get a terrorist costume and cross the border for their little.
That was an amazing video. Yeah, I like that quite a bit.
And they managed to get an Islamic ISIS flag on a day's notice. That's amazing too. But all the videos, like I watched the Vice Report. I watched. I've been to some of these weird channels where the ISIS guys are putting out like video from the ground. What's going on there? Look, all those guys have big beards. They're all dusty and war-torn. They're all scraggly and kind of fucked up looking. The video quality is like a Handycam, like Kyle was saying. But what about the prisoners? Where did they get those shiny orange silk prison suits? So there's a guy in orange standing next to the new black. Orange is the new black, right? Where were those guys being held? Apparently we had a failed rescue attempt to save James Foley. The special forces went in, but they were gone. So they were being moved around. They were being fed. They were being well taken care of. Why didn't they try to trade those guys for 5 terrorists out of Guantanamo Bay, guys?
Well, no, D-Like, it's stranger than that. Now, I'm not in favor of DARPA chipping people, but just hear me out on this. If you're going in the military and someone says, hey, D-Like, you're going to be fighting ISIS. Or, hey, D-Like, in this instance, you're a journalist. You're just going to cover it.
Right.
Now, we want to give you a chip implant. You're going to know about it. You don't need it to buy or sell. It's not the mark of the beast. You're not going to hell. We can even take it out of you. Maybe we should put this chip in you so that if you get kidnapped, happens all the time. Happening for about the last 20 years. We'll know globally where you are. Suddenly, all of this technology that all of us have been worrying about, that we know exists, can't be used in any instance where it might actually do some good.
Maybe like, fuck yeah, put one in my ass, put one in my balls, put one everywhere, put 5 of those in me.
If I'm going to Iraq, I'll let you do it.
Yeah, what if that one breaks? Put 2 in there.
It's the most obvious, easy to solve answer. We've had the answer on technology for at least the last 15 years. DARPA has like one of 7 ways that they have publicly said that they can do this. I feel like I report on it once every few months, and yet nobody whatsoever ever gets sent in with any of this.
See, my question too, while we're questioning like the possible legitimacy of these videos, they made like in the James Foley one, they made him pretty much say everything like what I was saying before, like this is because you guys are interventionists, stay the fuck out of our country, stay out of the Middle East, and they made him say that, right? Mm-hmm. My question is, if you're trying to get somebody to say something on a video, how are you going to do it? You're going to go, all right, if you say this and you do it properly, you'll get a clean bullet in the head. If you don't say it and if you refuse, we're going to torture you. That's how I would picture that conversation going, how you get him to say that, right? But what's your leverage if you're like, all right, after you say this, we're going to cut your head off with a knife? Like, there's no leverage. There's no clean shot in the head that you get afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get him to say that? Like, if I'm somebody sitting there, I'm a captured journalist, and they're like, read this script, and then we're gonna cut your head off with a knife, I'd be like, fuck you. Like, I'm not reading shit. What are they gonna say? We're gonna cut your head off with a knife twice? Like, I can't think of anything much worse than that they could threaten.
The
Like,
guy
how did
was the guy was also extremely calm and well composed. He even flubbed his lines, and they edited it. And when James Foley was beheaded, they said in like a week or 2 weeks, we're going to cut off Sotloff's head if you don't stop the airstrikes. We didn't stop the airstrikes. We didn't try to rescue Sotloff. And 2 weeks later, they said, okay, now we're going to cut his head off too. And he's known for a week or 2 weeks that he was going to have the same fate as James Foley, but yeah, he just reads his speech all calm and collected, and he's like, I blame you, America, and I blame you, Barack Obama, and I'm no longer proud to be an American. Okay, I'm ready for my head to be cut off. Go for it.
This is another reason I think all journalists should be required to know Morse code before they go into the Middle East, because then he could be reading his lines and, like, you know, blinking out coordinates. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Then their family shows up on CNN. Sam, I'm sad to say that you've had some tragedy in your life recently, losing a family member. Did you feel like going on CNN, drinking coffee, smiling and laughing the very next day? Just wondering.
I've noticed a lot of times with those things, but then again, I would say when you look at, for those of you that don't know the last guest, DeConte, within a week of when her husband died, she had a website up warning other people of Ebola. That might be an instance where you go on CNN because you're telling the terrorist, hey, you know what, you might have killed a family member, but you ain't frightening me. I'll go on the biggest news network I could find, and, you know, I'll say whatever. So there's two ways to look at it. I haven't seen
There is two ways to look at it, and yours is the nice way, and mine's the mean asshole way. I'm too cynical and critical.
I am glad at least, though, that I've had a chance to vent this whole DARPA thing, because I would like to hear more people address this. Not one major news network has questioned that at all, and it's been striking me as odd, especially when, you know, if you know you're getting implanted, there's no great spooky secret here. You're a journalist going to a place where it would be a very good idea. I would do it. If you could take it out again, I would do it.
Yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Kyle, do you want to get in a little bit more into nude celebrity photos being leaked and maybe?
I wish you would just call it by its name, D-Lake.
What's that?
The fappening.
It's the fappening.
I don't even know who the actress is. She's topless, so I didn't look it up.
Sam,
you don't know who Jennifer Lawrence is?
I did hear about the leak. No, I don't know who Jennifer Lawrence is, but if you tell me, I've probably seen a movie that she was in.
Hunger Games?
Mystique.
I haven't seen the Hunger Games yet, believe it or not. Not anything about it. Nothing, zilch.
Right.
She was in that Silver Linings pill book or whatever.
No.
She's been in some stuff. Kate Upton, I didn't know who she was until all this happened. Selena Gomez, allegedly. There's a ton of them. And I will start off by saying, yeah, I looked at them. I looked at the pictures. Anybody who says they didn't is a liar, including Sam. But
no, I'll look up Selena Gomez because she's been tormenting my ears for so long that if I have a chance to actually do some injustice back.
So you want to, like, rapester bait to her? That's weird.
I don't know if Selena Gomez has been released. I saw some Kate Upton and Jennifer Lawrence and some other chicks, but not Selena Gomez.
There's a ton of them of Selena.
I don't even know who wants to see that.
It's like from like the nose down, so it's hard to tell. But people have done like some CIA, CSI investigation, matching up moles from pictures and screenshots of her show Wizards on Waverly Place, and doing some craziness that way. But I did want to talk about this. It's not newsworthy in a sense of like the actual event and us just sitting here joking around about rapester baiting and whatnot. But I do think that there's some good things that can come out of this. It's a term I just invented, and it's my new favorite.
Well, Kyle, how would you like to focus on this then?
Well, there's two sides of this that I want to focus on. First of all, let's say, even though I did look at those pictures, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't. The guy who released them is an asshole. Like, that's such a shitty thing to do. I think we all agree on that. And these are all actresses and celebrities who haven't done nude scenes and aren't, you know, topless. Like, if it was like Lindsay Lohan, it would be like, well, I saw a movie where you, like, did a a orgy scene and like, you know, some cell phone pic, whatever. So like if it was like that or like Miley Cyrus, it would be like, oh well, fuck you, I don't care. But these are all actresses who really don't do that stuff, and they're specifically actresses that children look up to. So this guy who did this, or woman, probably not a woman though, is a piece of shit, no doubt. And what really makes me mad is that they did it under the title Anonymous. So they're pretty much saying, like, look, I'm an anonymous hacker. Like, fuck you. Anonymous doesn't hack celebrity iCloud accounts. Anonymous hacks banks and evil companies and PlayStation Network. Like, they do real hacks that are for good reasons.
Well,
and so I think one of the benefits that could come out of this, and this is really a plea in a way, is real Anonymous. The real guys out there, we know a few of you. Fucking get this guy, and you bring him to justice. Can you imagine if Anonymous was the one to figure out who this guy is? Not the FBI, not iTunes.
You know what,
If
Kyle?
Anonymous did it.
Between my implant chips and your call to Anonymous, this could be like the good idea porn show.
well,
Yeah, good idea and porn. That's
yes,
what porn
good idea
and
and
good
porn
ideas.
show.
That's what we're gonna label this show. But if Anonymous is the one to come after this guy and find him, I think that would be awesome, and that would really like raise awareness about Anonymous and make some people who don't know who they are and think that they're just like asshole hackers to show that Anonymous truly does have nobility and that this guy does not represent him. So I think that's important. Anonymous, please find out who this guy is and do it before the FBI does. Second thing that I think is really good that can come out of this, and D-Lake, you have a daughter, so you can understand this, I'm sure, that sexting and taking pictures like this and stuff is very, very common, especially with the upcoming younger teens.
Right.
This is just normal to them. They've grown up with iPhones. They've grown up with cloud accounts and blah, blah, blah. And
well, Kyle, right there, that's the point that I was waiting to make, is the cloud. I mean, can you talk a little bit more about the fact that these things go up into a cloud? And
and you don't even know it. If you have an iPhone, unless you specifically turn off cloud storage, every picture that you take is stored on there, and most people don't even realize that. Even if you delete it from your phone, it's still stored on the iCloud. And I think that we need to use this as any parents out there, I think, need to sit down their 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old daughters and say, hey, when that boy that you like from your class keeps texting you and saying that he wants you to send a picture of your tits, don't fucking do it, because look what happens. Look what happens when you do that. Those pictures will get out, somebody will see them, and it's going to cause you a lot of pain and a lot of heartache. Don't fucking send pictures. Don't take pictures. Do things in person. Don't send a picture. Give him a blowjob. I'm Kyle Phillips, and I approve this message.
I'd vote for you.
Kyle, the other thing is, just as a normal adult, if somebody had gotten, if the worst thing that ever happens to me is that I send a nude picture to Christelle and then it goes to the internet, if that's the worst thing that ever happens to me, and somebody is stupid enough to trend it as like the worst disaster since ISIS, I hope that's not all I have to worry about. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
You know what that means, like? You know what that means? It means Sam's got a huge dick. A guy with a small dick would be like, I don't want any pictures of me on the internet. I don't want anything getting out there. Shut it down. But Sam's like, hey, if it gets out, it gets out.
I mean,
yeah, that's great.
Well said, Kyle. Well said. But also, I mean, think about it. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you have ever sent a picture like that to someone. Do you ever hit send and think to yourself, this is a good idea of maximum security? You know,
No,
you know that there's a chance that God only, or that they're going to get mad at you and put it online and put a goat in front of you or take the goat out.
I sent one picture when I was like probably like a senior in high school, and it was just a close-up picture of I drew a smiley face on the tip of my wiener, and that's the only time. But no, I don't, because I think like, wow, this is going out on the internet where anybody can find it, anybody can see it. Like, and even if you trust the person you're sending it to, like, well, what if they lose their phone and some weirdo hangs out at Starbucks all day staring at the barista fucking finds it?
You could think about it in other terms, though. Like, let's say, even on a small scale, somebody has watched the Media Speaks. They already know whether or not they like the shows that we do and our Saturday edition here. Welcome aboard, everyone. They already know whether or not they like it or not before the picture comes out of you sending something to your girl or me sending something to Christelle. They already know whether they liked it or not. Like, if we go and pose for Playgirl or something, then somebody can make a moral judgment and say, no, you know what, I don't support that, I don't like them anymore. But when it's stolen from your phone and it's with people in some instances that were actually husbands and wives in this, I don't see where it's going to make anybody
It doesn't
like
affect
or
your image
dislike you.
negatively.
Yeah, it doesn't affect your image no matter how popular you are either. It's just a lot of yammering about
Definitely
nothing.
not. It definitely doesn't hurt your image because it's not like you did it intentionally. It's not like a Kim Kardashian situation. It was something that was stolen from you, which people have been comparing it to rape. I wouldn't go that far, but I see where the analogy and the comparison could be made.
Yeah, that does go a little far. But I would definitely call it an invasion of privacy.
It definitely is. I could see where it's in the same.
You know, as the judge, what I would pick as a punishment if I were a judge, and I don't think it would be legal, but it would be the best punishment. I would say 6 months to a year house arrest where there's a media block on you. Or you can get 3, 5, and 8. You can get the TV stations. But you can't get anything more than like a basic cable package. No computer, no nothing for like a year if they catch the guy. Imagine having to come home, and obviously everyone uses the internet. If you're like me, you don't even have cable. Nothing. You get like 3, 5, and 8. It's going to be 1980 for you. This is the house arrest. This is what you get for the next year.
And only cold water. You don't have a water heater.
Well, real quick to sort of wrap up this part, Kyle, are the people that went and clicked on the images and I was like, Kyle, send me the link, I gotta see the tits, like, are we guilty, or is it just the person that leaked the videos, or, I mean...
No, I definitely think...
just going back, there was warnings, like, on a link I went to this week that was like, don't look at the tits, do not look at the beheading porn. I'm like, you don't even see any beheading, and like, I mean, I could go by, I could see tits on any million other chicks, but I kind of want to see Jennifer's. I mean, is that making me a bad guy?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think that it does. And I mean, I don't know. It's like what is it? Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, don't turn back and look at the destruction. I don't know. I don't think that it makes you a bad person. I don't think that anybody should feel guilty for looking at them. Now, if you're one of the people who archived them and are waiting until they get pulled off Imgur or whatever the website is so that you can re-upload them, like, yeah, you should feel bad. But if you just went and, if you went and you looked at them and you did a little fappening, you know, I mean, it's already out there. But the guy who did it, that's the person who should feel like shit, because I mean, he's the one who literally did the invasion of privacy. And like I said, like, the people comparing it to rape, that's really, really extreme. But I do see it in kind of the same line, much further back, of course. But I mean, now these women like Jennifer Lawrence, she walks down the street now and she's like, all right, 1 out of every 3 dudes I walk past jerked off to me in the past week. Like, that's gotta suck. Like, that.
Yeah, you know what? I feel good for the actresses that know that they were pretty enough that 1 out of 3 people jerked off to them that week before the leak. That's how you before the actress. There you go.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're somebody who did it voluntarily, like I said, none of these women who got the pictures released were people who voluntarily released it previously. Like, if it was somebody who's like well known, like Amy Smart, I guess, got mad because somebody from the paparazzi snapped a picture of her with her top off at the beach, right? But like, you did a movie where Jason Statham banged you doggy style in a Chinese market. And it's like, if anybody's going to be fappening to you, it's not going to be that shitty blurry picture from the beach. It's going to be that doggy style scene you did with Jason Statham in the movie Crank. So it's like, I don't feel bad for you. You already put it out there. You already sold it to us. But like Jennifer Lawrence hadn't sold it to us, and she's kind of been a big proponent of kind of feminism and positive feminism, and not sexualizing herself in that way. So it's shitty. It's definitely shitty. And I know I've said some mean things about Jennifer Lawrence on this show in the past. I've called her a wax face and such, and I apologize, okay? She's not a wax body.
All right, I know Kyle's been waiting to get that apology out on air. That's great. Do we want to segue into science news? Because I know Sam has a lot of it today. Sam, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Kyle, you got a theme song for Sam?
Probably.
See if we can line that up.
It's time to learn some science. So here's Sam with the science front.
Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to the News from the Science Front section of the show. I'm doing 2 today because I'm getting back on the horse after being gone from the show for a bit. Coca-Cola getting rid of brominated vegetable oil in Powerade. I was happy to hear about this. More than a year after PepsiCo decided to ditch controversial ingredient brominated vegetable oil from Gatorade, but decided to leave it in Mountain Dew, the folks at Coke have apparently followed suit with Powerade. Still not Mountain Dew. The AP reports that bottles of Powerade, fruit punch, and strawberry lemonade without BVO listed as an ingredient begin showing up around the country. However, some other bottles of these flavors still list BVO on the label, indicating that this change occurred recently, and not all bottling operations have made the change. I would like to add that that also means that they might be clearing out their warehouses, and they're not going to take a loss on that because it's technically not illegal, but that they're going to work it out through the new ones. Why that's not listed, friends, I don't know. A PR flag from Coca-Cola would only tell the AP that its Powerade drinks are BVO-free, though the Powerade website still lists BVO as an ingredient on these flavors. Again, the answer seems obvious. The writer seems an idiot. BVO is not approved as a food additive in either the European Union nor Japan, but is allowed in the U.S., which happens all the time, and in low concentrations. It is generally used as an emulsifier in fruit-flavored soft drinks to keep them from separating. The concern about BVO is the possibility of bromine building up in the bodies of those who drink beverages containing it. It says it does bind to the fat in the body. That means any risks you have, it's probably going to stay with you either until the risk from it dissipates or it does whatever damage it's going to do. That's not so good. And again, there have been over 200,000 signatures of people wanting it out of there. It looks like it has moved in a direction where that is happening. What do you guys think before I go on to the second story of my science front attack here?
Yeah, Sam, just brought up the article since you're talking about this, and Coca-Cola said it would instead use sucrose acetate ibutyriate, which it noted has been used in drinks for more than 14 years, and glycerol ester of rosin, which is said is commonly found in chewing gum and drinks.
What makes you wonder why they do this? I got
we're going to put something else in there.
The Giant Eagle near my store, the Giant Eagle store near my house, how about that, has an organic food section, and they had an organic root beer. You know, do you like it had things in it like wood, sugar? Do you ever have water? It had water in it. Why can everybody else make it? It was one of the best root beers I've ever had. Why do they have to replace it with something else that's insane? I like the best root beer ever.
Yeah, like real old-fashioned root beer. It's like 20 times better than like the shit that you buy on the store shelf.
Yeah,
like
they didn't need some mystery ingredient. It didn't make any sense.
No, it's better. Like I went to a fair once and they had like I got a tin cup, right? Like a cup made out of tin, and it was like $10, and I got root beer that they poured from a giant wooden barrel. It was like on the back of a flatbed truck, and it was so good.
I do want to support even corporations when they do something well, and even though Giant Eagle is a corporation, they're doing this well. It is Natural Brew. This, absolutely delicious. Listen to what's in this. It's real easy, guys. Sparkling water, sugar, natural flavors, bourbon, vanilla extract, anise, licorice root, birch oil, wintergreen oil, caramel color, and phosphoric acid. That's all you need to make pop. A little bit less if you're not making root beer. You can take the wood out.
The only thing I'd be worried about there, Sam, is natural flavors, because as we know, that could be just about anything, including rat shit. Sam, you had another science report.
Yes, I've got one more. This is from mirror.co.uk. Mysterious glow above Pacific leaves pilot baffled as red lights appear from below. It'll be interesting to see if we get any comments on this section of the science front from people that remember our Hollow Earth show from a few months back. However, this looks like it's most likely a volcano. So I'm trying to get the computer to scroll down, and it doesn't want to. So hold on one second.
Yeah, no problem, Sam. I got glow above the Pacific brought up in my images. It looks like we're being joined by Lucian Farrow.
Are we? I like that guy.
Lucian, Children Radio. Lucian, are you there?
Hello, friends. Can you hear me?
Hey, Lucian. Welcome aboard.
Hey, Sam. Good to see you again. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all.
You jumped in at the perfect time. What are we talking about, Sam? Can you explain it again?
This is awesome. A mysterious red glow across the Pacific Ocean has baffled pilots flying across it. JPC Van Heijst, H-E-I-G-S-T, was flying a Boeing 747-8 aircraft from Hong Kong to Alaska when he spotted mysterious lights above the ocean halfway through the flight. The bizarre lights, it goes on, were seen south of the Russian peninsula Kamchatka, which many of you know from vodka, and are thought to have originated from a huge volcano explosion under the surface of the ocean. The glow reportedly came 20 minutes after the vertical lightning strike was seen in the distance. That's interesting because when I was on a cruise lately, you could actually see the storms around you on the ocean, and you could see when they struck like that. If it wasn't storming, that would lead to possibly being heat from the volcano making the lightning. Van Heijst was left perplexed by the eye-catching lights, described the experience as creepy. There were no thunderstorms on their route to Alaska, which suggests that the lightning bolt was not caused by a storm. He explained on P-Base that the only thing he could think of which could cause the glow would be a volcano under the surface. He said the closer we got, the more intense the glow became, illuminating the clouds and the sky below us in a scary orange glow. It looks like a big pumpkin on here. In a part of the world where there was supposed to be nothing but water. The only cause of this red glow that anyone could think of was the explosion of a huge volcano just underneath the surface of the ocean. Pause for a minute, friends. The reason I'm questioning that is, if that was the case, you would expect the some government to issue a warning, possible tsunami warning, which is different than an actual tsunami warning. But the partial ones go off all the time. Because I don't remember one going off prior to seeing this story, I actually questioned the volcano thing a little bit. So I want to add that just to play devil's advocate. But it says about 30 minutes before we overflew the exact position. He added, we reported our observation to air traffic control, and an investigation into what happened in this remote region of the ocean is now started. If you live in that area, guys, maybe you might want to do an investigation as to why you did not get a possible tsunami warning. Last paragraph. Now I'm just hoping that if a new island has been there, at least it will be named after me, since I am the official discoverer. That would be pretty cool. And that's bothersome, guys. I wish some people maybe who are listening to this that know more about this maybe leave a comment. If this was a volcano, why was there no warning given to anyone that a volcano of that magnitude had gone off in the ocean? Because sometimes that can trigger trigger tsunamis.
To your knowledge, Sam, did the pilot go to another dimension or travel forward in time and space? Anything like that?
Not the Bermuda Triangle, no. Although he did unfortunately fly over Kamchatka. I don't even think he got any of the cooked vodka.
Have there been any ancient artifacts found around the area that have superior technology to our own, possibly Atlantean?
No, and they absolutely have no ability to check for tsunamis either. We've gone back in time. Like,
Lucian, are you
horse and buggies.
Lucian, are you familiar with this story, and did you have anything you wanted to add?
I am slightly familiar with the story. I mean, there's really not much to add. You know, I believe in approaching everything with an open mind, but I'm certainly not a believer, and I don't encourage people to be believers because it kind of sells yourself short. But I think we should be open. I feel like it kind of ties into this article I read recently where 100% government came out and admitted that those large, silent, floating triangle crafts are ours and not some sort of alien thing.
Like from the Phoenix Lights. Was that what you're talking about?
I guess there's a lot of them over the Midwest from time to time. I don't know, but the big giant. So there could be a reasonable explanation, but then again, there's no questioning that there's
So why do you think they
phenomenon.
didn't get a wave warning, Lucian?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's possible that it got missed. Like scientists aren't perfect by any means.
Well, that worries me because he told the air traffic controller, "Hey, I'm seeing a bright glow out here."
Yeah.
At that point, I don't know why. I mean, nothing. If it would have gone bad, you'd be sleeping in your bed one minute and feel like you're starring in Noah the next. It would not be good.
Well, I believe that they were using the satellites to try to find the Jennifer Lawrence hacker. We already talked about that, Lucian. I'm afraid
that's what it was. That had to have been what it was.
Yeah, they were busy looking for that guy. Lucian, now I want you to be honest with me. Did you look at the Jennifer Lawrence pictures?
I did not. I am familiar with this story.
I'm going to now that I know about it. Oh, Lucian, I'm sorry.
So we
I'm
have
getting
50,
a delay
50
on
here.
my end.
Out of all four of us, two of us admit that we looked at the pictures, and the other two are liars. But no, we were talking about that and how I really hope that Anonymous finds these guys, and that's pretty much the rundown I gave. Is I hope Anonymous is the one to find this dude because he called himself Anonymous, the guy who released him. Don't type that in, D-Lake. Don't do what you're doing. You're gonna get us booted off YouTube. All right, I'm gonna keep the.
I heard about that, by the way. I recently became made aware you guys as show producers, you guys ran into some sort of copyright thing recently. Is that true?
Yes, we're dealing with a copyright issue where during one of our shows we played a video that was on Facebook. And we were talking about it and commenting on it, and then the person who uploaded it to YouTube originally, which somebody had stolen it from YouTube and put it on Facebook, and that person found our video and put a strike against her account, even though the guy who's actually in the video, the one who made it get popular, liked the video, liked the episode, and said that he would come on our show, and that's why we're doing this from our independent channels for the next 6 months or until we resolve the issue. But the guy who's actually in the video is totally cool with us. It's the guy who owns the channel, who tried to extort us for $5,000 and has been a real douche about it, if I'm being blunt. So yeah, we're dealing with that, and potentially for about 5 more months we'll have to be doing it on our independent channels and uploading 15-minute segments to the big channel.
I wanted to ask you, Kyle, what happened? I think it let me put all of the one video that I did last up. So they're not only inconsistent, they're a little confusing.
Me and D-Lake discussed that because it specifically says you can't upload over 15 minutes. What we think happened is that you are so bad with computers that you somehow accidentally got around.
Your technology is so ancient that...
No, I'll tell you what. No, that's why I'm bringing this on air. I'm telling you how I did it. You set the video for Creative Commons and then just remix your own video.
That might make sense. I'll look into it. I'll do some investigating.
That's how to get around it, listeners. Merry Christmas.
All right, so let's give
You were using AOL.
On a steampunk machine.
Yeah.
Lucian, we haven't had you on in a while. Lucian Farrow, Indigo Children Radio. Let's spend a few minutes. What have you been up to? What have you been doing with Indigo Children?
Really haven't been doing a lot since that conference in July. Really just been kind of busy and taking it easy for the most part, or not.
Just
How did that conference go?
watching Netflix.
The conference was interesting. Yeah, watching Netflix. The conference was interesting. Some interesting people, some interesting points of view.
Was that the one in Indianapolis?
Yes.
Fuck, that already happened? I totally forgot about that. I was planning on going. Damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the one we were talking about at the Left-Hander conference.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Yeah, it was interesting. It had its elements to it. Other really with the show, not a whole lot though. Can't say that I've been doing a lot of posting lately.
Yeah, I mean we need to get back on our shit more too. Like I need to start writing more articles. It's just been slow. Buying a house, doing a ton of stuff, getting a puppy. But I don't know. It's been kind of slow in the news.
I saw that miniaturized puppy green screen action that you put together the other day.
Oh yeah. All right. So there's this video on YouTube, and the guy, it says like smallest dog in the world, and it's literally the guy photoshopped a picture, very basically, just like took a dog and made it super tiny on the tip of a finger, and it says on the screen, it's like, this is like a miniature something, blah blah blah, dog. It's the smallest dog in the world. It's been genetically modified with ant DNA, blah blah blah. And it's obviously like somebody just making a little joke, but if you look at all the here, I'm gonna pull it up. It's so funny. Like if you look at all the things in the comments, like it's a ton of people who are like violently enraged that this guy is trying to pull the wool over their eyes and convince them that these tiny dogs are real.
Photoshop!
Yeah. Here, let me pull it up. Smallest.
Was that a premix of David's voice saying Photoshop just now?
No, that was the real deal. That was the real David Lake.
Oh, that was authenticated. Great.
That was. Here,
Yeah,
let me pull up my screen share. And this video, it's not even a video as much as it is a picture that's uploaded.
Cool glasses, David. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
I have a pair like very similar.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Kyle, you actually should have went to Indianapolis.
I'm sure you do.
So at least one of us would know what Lucian actually looks like.
Yeah, Lucian is an enigma. He's a mystery. I think I've had
a question mark.
That
I've
avatar is
discussed
an
it.
accurate representation of my likeness.
Yeah, I like that new avatar.
I have talked to Lucian and seen his face, and he does look very similar to that. It's pretty close. It's not spot on, you know. That's like what he would look like if he was drawn by a street vendor, you know, at like, you know, those people who will draw you in the street.
I don't
Like
believe that his curtains. I don't believe that he really has curtains that are that cool.
No, his curtains they're actually blue.
I like that hat. Oh, there's the miniature dog. Okay, Kyle. Hopefully we don't get a strike for this, but can you show it?
Well, that's mine. That's actually my dog right there.
You made a small dog.
That's the one I made, and I made it here. Let me get mine on the main screen. I made it. I can replay it because on the original video, people were like outraged about this guy saying that these dogs are real. So I made this video being like, they are real. They are real, and I have one. And I just had my dog, my awesome dog Helena, walk on top of a green screen, and I googled a picture of a hand. But don't tell that to the angry people. Here, I have the link to the original at the bottom. But it's so funny to read through because it's like, wow, like how dumb can people be? Like it's really, really amazing. All right, let me get this loading up. All right, so the original video, it's literally just this like tiny little dog. It's gonna play a commercial, but it's just like a tiny little dog on top of a finger. It's obviously photoshopped here, and I won't play the whole thing just so that you can see the picture of it. Smallest dog in the world. That's the picture, okay? And like,
Hey,
if you read
is
here,
that
let me
the
go.
Doge? Is that the Dogecoin
Somebody
dog?
clicked on that. They were
No,
clicking
it's
on
not.
that.
But he says like it's a nano teacup terrier, the smallest dog in the world and stuff, and all the people here. Let me turn my mic so I can read
Yeah,
this.
let's hear some of the comments.
It's Photoshop, and Photoshop is spelled wrong, of course. Photoshop, and then this person, Kayla Hampson. It's a weird name. Photoshop, and I said, shows what you know. I actually have one of these dogs. They make great companions. And then the person who originally posted the video, they're like, yes, they do. I have 67 of them. Just fake, but funny. Real and serious was my response to that one. I just went through. I just was really bored one day.
I watched your
some people-
first YouTube video upload ever. This your resume.
Oh, my video resume, yeah. It wasn't bad for a first upload, right?
It was really good. I really liked your headphone video, the ANMR. Is that what it's called?
ASMR. Oh,
ASMR.
Lucian, you're probably familiar with ASMR, right? Like the binaural audio.
Oh, not really. No.
It's like
Kyle,
the
can you
virtual
explain that?
haircut. Huh?
Can you explain what it is, and then
Yeah.
maybe play a little bit of your video?
It's like people will make videos. Like the first one to ever really come out was the virtual haircut, and a lot of like girls do it online, which some of them are like kind of hot, but like weird. Like there's something weird about them. I don't know, but it's like what it is essentially you'll record a video using two microphones that are well placed so that it picks up like the two different sides, and they'll do stuff like pretending to give you a haircut or give you a scalp massage, and it's like it triggers a response in your brain that makes it feel like your like head is like tingling, kind of like, you know, if your eyes are closed and somebody puts their finger like really close to the center of your nose, you can like almost feel it even though they're not touching you. It's like that on your head and your brain. And so people do these videos, girls specifically, and it'll be like, you know, virtual haircut or virtual scalp massage or whatever it is. So I made my own version of it, which is like the virtual, I don't know, how would you describe it, D-Lake? D-Lake, are you there? I don't even think I
He
can.
wasn't
like,
fully prepared.
the way that I did it, I don't know if I can even play it on my computer.
You just virtually relaxed him completely.
I did. I relaxed them into a little.
He's
But like all these
virtually under
girls,
right now.
they'll make them, and it's like I like the videos. Like there's a few that I watch, and it really helps if you have issues sleeping. Like you just put on headphones. You need headphones or it doesn't work, and kind of makes it feel like a tingle, like kind of like what I said. Like, you know, if somebody like puts a hand like really close to the center of your nose, like between your eyes, like it makes it feel like they're touching. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Do you do a lot of things online virtual that make your head tingle?
I do.
I was checking.
Some of
making
them
sure.
involve
I mean, I
Jennifer
did,
Lawrence.
of course.
He's
But-
a third lifer. Beyond second life. It's full third life now with like actual sensations taking place in real time.
Yeah, but I made my own version of the ASMR video or ASMR tingling. Mine is called "You Picked the Wrong House, Bitch," and it's pretty much like one of these videos, but instead of me like being one of these creepy girls, I'm like, "Hi, welcome to my salon. Sit down and let me rub your head." I'm like, "You picked the wrong fucking house to break into, and I have a gun. And listen, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna rub your head and stuff." I don't know. I thought it would be a funny way to do it. I was entertained by it. I don't know. I just use that channel for stupid shit. Like that's the purpose of it. Is like whenever I think of something stupid, I'm like, well, I can't very well post this to the Media Speaks. Like it goes to the Nosehair 515 channel. But D Lake, did you run away? Did he have a heart attack? I think he had to run over.
You started talking about the topless videos of that one actress girl, and he hasn't been back since.
Yeah, he
Almost
went to go enjoy the fappening, right? I have I should have muted my microphone. I'm dumb. I have a Who Done Said It, but I want to wait for D-Lake to get back. Are you guys down to play some Who Done Said It?
I am down to play some Who Done Said It. And while we wait, where could somebody get some information about the Media Speaks?
I don't know. They could probably listen to this ad really quickly.
I'm D-Lake and Prez, TheMediaSpeaks.com.
And I'm Kyle Phillips from TheMediaSpeaks.com. And what are we here to tell them, D-Lake?
Everyone, please check out the website at www.TheMediaSpeaks.com.
That's right, because at TheMediaSpeaks.com you can find all the latest videos, reports, and live shows from me, D-Lake, who I'm talking to right now, Anthony Court, and Sam DeGangi.
He likes to sneak off and do rim jobs with Valerie Jarrett.
I don't even think Sam knows Valerie Jarrett, D-Lake. Take that back.
I apologize.
And I accept your apology. Anyways, everybody go to TheMediaSpeaks.com, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube, like all of our videos, and leave comments, because that's the best way that you can support us.
Do you think it could bite them in the ass?
No, I don't think he could bite them in the ass. What are you even talking about, D-Lake? Do you think before you speak?
I apologize.
Well, then all is forgiven, as long as enough viewers go to TheMediaSpeaks.com, subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter. I'm Kyle Phillips.
I'm D-Lake and Prez, TheMediaSpeaks.com.
Now let's get back to TMS Live.
Let's get back to, I never remember to look up who Anthony, what's her name, Jarrett?
Valerie Jarrett. That's
Valerie
my favorite. My favorite ad. All right, D-Lake, you look like you're back. You had to go fapping. Are you ready? Is everybody down to play some Who Done Said It?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Who done that? Don't forget, explain what happens when you win.
Oh, yeah, if you win. Lucian, have you played Who Done Said It with us before? I think you have.
Is that the quotes and quiz?
That's the quote game.
Oh, David is back. What's going
Yeah.
on in David's out there in David's realm of the radio?
Yeah, what were you doing over there?
It's the fappening.
Oh, that's a great.
I got that from Kyle.
The fappening. All right, yeah, and if you win Who Done Said It, you get to choose somebody who will be one of the quoted people in the next game. Let's do it, if this will work. Who done said it?
Who said the quote?
Who said the quote? Whoa. Who done said it?
Who said the quote? Who said the quote?
I don't know. Who done said it?
Who said the quote? Who said the quote?
I don't know. Whoa. I need audio to start talking. That's always a good idea. So, today's game, for those who haven't played or don't remember, I have 3 people. I'm going to read quotes from them. You have to guess who said which quote. Every time you get it right, you win a point. If nobody gets it, I get 2 points. And the winner at the end of the game gets to pick somebody who will be quoted in next week's episode. Are you guys ready to play?
Ready.
Ready.
Let's do
All right.
it.
Today we have Albert Pike, which was chosen by last week's winner, Monarch. I don't know who Albert Pike is. D-Lake, can you Wikipedia Albert Pike for me?
Sure.
So I don't know who that is.
Interesting character.
Which he talks. I know that he's somebody from history because he talks old-timey, which we've talked about. People who talk old-timey make it harder for me to find quotes because you need to find other old-timey sounding people to put them up against. Because if I'm like George Washington and Ron Paul, like Ron Paul's just going to say things straightforward where George Washington shall say things like thee and thy, and that makes it hard. But all right, while D-Lake's looking that up. Thomas Jefferson, and then I threw in just for fun Madonna. I wanted to challenge myself.
Albert Pike Madonna and Thomas Jefferson. Who done said it? Wow.
Albert Pike was an American attorney.
Yeah, the thee and the thou
officer.
problem you're going to have to get around. This was a hard one for you to set up, I'm sure.
All right, who is Albert Pike? Do you
Right,
have information?
Born December 29th, 1809, Albert Pike was an American attorney, Confederate officer, writer, and Freemason.
Sounds like a dick. All right. Are you ready for the?
He fought
Yes.
for the Confederate States Army.
Interesting. All right. Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
I am the result of the good choices I've made and the bad choices.
Madonna.
Lucian, you're going
Oh,
Madonna,
sorry.
Sam?
We're going
Thomas
Madonna.
Jefferson.
You think that sounds like Thomas Jefferson?
I'm gonna go with that. First
Thomas-
guess.
What do you think?
I'll say Albert Pike to cover all the bases.
Covering all the bases. All right. Madonna.
Oh, surprise.
Madonna, though.
All right.
Point.
Next quote. Sam in the lead.
Arrogant wench.
I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. What are you thinking? Sound like Madonna? Albert Pike?
I'll say
Thomas
Albert Pike.
Jefferson. You're going Albert
Okay.
Pike on that one? High hopes for the Confederacy. Lucian, what do you think?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with my first impulse. I'm gonna go with Thomas Jefferson again.
Doubling down on Thomas Jefferson. Sam, what do you think?
He's doubling down on Thomas Jefferson, but I'm feeling Thomas Jefferson.
You guys are having a three-way Thomas Jefferson, two-way.
We're
Albert
having
All right.
a three-way Thomas Jefferson.
Fapping into. All right, enough. It's Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
It felt right. Seemed like a
It
good one
did.
too.
All right, that means I didn't do a good enough job choosing the quote. All right, next quote. The sovereignty of oneself over oneself is called liberty. Sounds like Madonna as fuck to me. The sovereignty of oneself over oneself is called liberty.
That could be a Madonna feminist rant. You do know that.
Ooh, it could be. I could be tricking you.
This is one of those trick ones.
Maybe.
Paper, rock, scissor, paper, rock. blah,
I'm
blah,
saying
blah.
Madonna. That sentence is just a little. I mean, I know they spoke differently, and I may regret it, but I'm going to say Madonna. That
Yeah, it
sentence
could be Madonna being
That
douchey.
doesn't make a lot of sense. And it does and doesn't. It's just worded badly. Maybe back then if it was, but I'm going to go Madonna.
You're going Madonna. Lucian, who do you think that sounds like? The sovereignty of oneself over oneself is called liberty. I think that's called masturbation. I gotta stop. I'm in a dirty place today.
I'm going to go with Albert Pike only because I'm thinking this was the Thomas Jefferson switcheroo.
Ooh, that's smart. Maybe. Maybe it's not though. What do you think?
I keep guessing Albert Pike. I'm sticking with that till I
You're
get
sticking with that. All right. And don't run away and have sovereignty over oneself.
For everyone.
All right. So we got 2 for Albert Pike and 1 for Madonna.
my body, Kyle.
Go have sovereignty over it in privacy. The fappening. All right. It was Albert Pike. So that would be what, Lucian
There
and
you
D-Lake?
go.
Yeah.
All right, so right now Lucian and Sam are tied with 2. D-Lake has 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quotes left, and then we can call this an episode and go exercise sovereignty over oneself. All right. Honesty is the first chapter in the Book of Wisdom. Honesty is the first chapter in the Book of Wisdom. What are you guys thinking?
This is the Thomas Jefferson versus the Albert Pike. Probably Albert Pike, though.
Sounds like Albert Pike, maybe? Not sure. Could be
Thomas
Madonna.
Jefferson.
You're going Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah.
Madonna wrote a book, but I think it was called Sex. I don't think it was.
There's a
What
lot of
was the
stuff
first
about
chapter
Tom.
called Honesty?
Yeah, what was the first chapter called? This could be a very
Right.
literal.
Yeah, the first chapter. It's called Honesty. I'll say Madonna.
You're going Madonna. Lucian, who are you going with?
I want to go with Albert Pike only because if it's Thomas Jefferson, that's like the obvious paper, rock, scissor following that other obvious paper, rock, scissor Albert Pike Jefferson one. So I'm going to go back with Albert Pike on that.
Albert Pike and Sam
Jefferson.
Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson.
Oh.
Sam takes back the lead,
I have the lead.
and we got
Well,
4 left. So
I
it's
guess
still anybody's.
Madonna, and Kyle's like, yeah, okay.
Well, I don't like that it's anybody's game. I just want to win. Don't be excited about that.
See, I think Lucian's going about this the right way. He's trying
Man,
to figure
I
out where
psyched myself out on that one, though.
a little
paper
bit.
rock.
Everybody
Paper
knows.
rock
Everybody
myself.
knows what I'm trying to do. I want to win so that I can make my Who Done Said It pick.
Ah.
Sarah Marsol. How do you look up the quotes of a mime? It might not be possible, but it'll take you forever to find out if it is.
Slap. All right. What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world and is... That's weird. Let me try that again. What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal.
That's fishy. I'm going to go with Pike.
You're going Pike? That's clever. I like what you just did there. All right. Lucian, who does that sound like to you?
I'm also going to go with Albert Pike just because it's so esoteric.
Do you like?
It is esoteric. I think the last part, the immortal, being immortal, I'm gonna have to say that sounds like Madonna.
That sounds like Madonna being a pretentious douche.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Albert Pike.
Wow.
Yes.
So we have Lucian at 3. D-Lake has 1, Sam has 4, and I have 0. I am yet to fool all of you at once. All right. Next quote. The poor man whose pleasures depend on... I can't read today. Poor is the man whose pleasures depend on the permission of another. Poor is the man whose pleasures depend on the permission of another.
Thomas Jefferson.
Sounds like Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson. I'm feeling Jefferson again.
Me
You
too,
going-
Jefferson.
Triple Jefferson?
Triple Jefferson.
Triple Jefferson.
All right.
Swimming.
That was Madonna.
Oh my gosh.
You guys, all 3 of you mistook a Madonna quote as Thomas Jefferson.
Whoa.
You should be ashamed.
Points for that one.
What a fool.
Oh, that puts me back into the mix.
So what does that mean? She takes people by force?
Wait, that was Madonna. Read that one again.
Poor is the man whose pleasures depend on the permission of another.
Man.
Google that shit.
Wow. Okay.
And these all come from Brainy Quote, by the way, brainyquote.com. All right, 2 more. Sam's winning with 4, Lucian close behind with 3, then me with 2, D-Lake with 1. Next quote. Faith begins where reason sinks exhausted. Faith begins where reason sinks exhausted.
Jefferson.
Sounds like Thomas Jefferson to you. That sounds really atheist-y to me. Just throwing that out there.
Jefferson sounds more faithy to me.
Does it? It sounds like it could go either way depending on how you said it. Like, if somebody's like if you're saying it as an argument against religion, like, faith begins where reason sinks exhausted, or somebody like, there's no...
Faith begins where reason sinks in exhaustion.
Yeah. All right, so Sam, you said Thomas Jefferson?
Yep, I'm standing by old Tommy boy.
Lucian, what do you think?
I think I have to go with Thomas Jefferson, just because I would expect Albert Pike to maybe be a little more satanic.
And if you all get it right, I lose a point. I forget if I mentioned that.
I feel like I'm gonna. I think it is Pike. I'll say Pike.
You're going Pike. 1 Pike, 2 Jeffs. 2 Jeffs, 1 Pike, no Madonnas. 1 Madonna, 2 Madonna, 3 Pikes. I feel like I'm doing a Bill Hicks joke. All right. Albert Pike.
Oh, wow.
All right. We have one more. This is what it all comes down to. Sam at 4, Lucian at 3, me and D-Lake tied at 2. One more. Let's do this. The glow of one warm thought is to me worth more than money.
Madonna.
Madonna.
2 Madonnas. What are you thinking, D-Lake? We got two pre-Madonnas since we don't know the answer yet.
I hope Lucian and I tie. That way I can do mine, and in case it's impossible, he can pick his anyway.
Lucian, what made you say Madonna?
You know, the bit about money seemed pretty pop culture, but again, my reasoning just kind of is totally off sometimes.
It could be a lyric. You never know. It could be a Madonna lyric. The glow of... I'm not going to try.
Can you read it one more time, Kyle?
The glow of one warm thought is to me worth more than money.
Thomas Jefferson.
You're going Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. So Sam wins with 4. D-Lake and Lucian tie for second, and I came in third with 2. Congratulations to all who played. And congratulations to all 3 of you, because even though I didn't win this game, I got all 3 of you to mistake Madonna for Thomas Jefferson. So
Yeah, pretty late.
in the end.
That was cool.
And,
All right,
and
so-
Sam,
Not our brightest moment, for sure.
Sam,
So I Marcel, because I don't think it's possible. I
And this is, you said it's a mime.
a mime.
I will find quotes. I'll be able
hey,
to.
I watched Good Morning Vietnam yesterday on Netflix, the Robin
Yeah.
Williams movie where he goes to Vietnam as a radio DJ.
Yep.
And he has a Marceau joke in the movie. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it's about him being a mime, and he cracks a joke about that guy.
Well, I do know in Silent Movie, he's the only one that talks. He says one
Oh
word.
yeah, he goes. Robin Williams says, "Those last 2 seconds of silence were brought to you by Marcel Marceau's upcoming movie or something." Yeah.
I've actually been watching a ton of Robin Williams stuff. I watched Jumanji the other day, and then I watched yesterday. I made my girlfriend sit through The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Have you guys seen that movie?
No.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
It's a very weird movie. In fact, like Lucian's avatar would fit well in that movie.
Yeah, I know. You know, I was
What's it
actually
called?
surprisingly struck with Robin Williams passing. I didn't realize that he seemed like such a cool dude in the movies. He seemed like that guy, like, you know, if you wrote that awesome script, he would totally validate the way you feel about everything, and then he died, and I was actually really sad. A lot of times I don't care
Me
about
too.
these celebrities, but that was kind of sad.
Yeah,
I
Joan
agree.
Rivers, it's like, well, she was old as fuck, and like, I mean, don't get me wrong, no
She's
ill
cool, I
feelings
thought.
about her. She was cool, but I mean, she didn't like inspire millions of childhoods like Robin Williams did.
Exactly.
I'm 25 years old. Like, I grew up on like Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, I watched Flubber the other day too. I grew up on movies like Flubber, Mrs. Doubtfire.
What was the first movie you said that was would have gone well with Lucian's avatar? Because I watched The Purge 2 that you recommended, and I liked it.
I still haven't seen it. D-Lake, I think, was talking about it, but I've seen
that
the
was
first
Monarch
one.
last week. The Adventures
Yeah, Monarch.
of The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Is that what you're talking about, Sam?
Yeah. It's on
Yeah.
Netflix. It's a very interesting movie. It's hard to explain.
Lucian, what's Munchausen's disease? Isn't that a thing?
Yes, that's when you make someone sick to get attention to the fact that you're caring
Right.
for a sick person.
Yeah.
That makes sense based on the story of Baron von Munchausen. Because if you Wikipedia him, like...
Why did
he's
you
like
ask
a-
me?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I'm like, why would
I'm like,
Lucian
what?
know that?
What the hell, David?
I just thought you were the most dictionary smart on the show. I don't know.
Lucian, can you tell me about subatomic particles and any new breakthroughs?
Yeah, I know, right?
Lucian, can you please explain to us the theory of relativity?
Yeah, you obviously know everything about it. In detail, please. Lucian, what's going on with Gorilla Glass and touchscreen technology?
Lucian,
Gorilla.
what's the square root of...
Damn it, dude. For 1 second, I thought you were serious on the Gorilla Glass thing, and I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah,
Answer all of
interesting.
those questions now, please.
Yeah, I thought. Anyway, whatever. I even said, great glasses, David. You know, by the way, also great shirt. Your whole look is great today. You know, your beard looks nice and full. You should be proud of yourself. I mean, come on. And he's all, answer me this, riddle me
Yeah,
this,
riddle me this, fucking Lucian.
Okay.
riddle me
Thanks,
this.
Lucian.
Answer all the questions in the world. What was the ending of Pride and Prejudice? What am I thinking? What's my
I'm
favorite number,
actually-
Lucian?
You know
Has
what?
anybody seen Skinwalker Ranch? I watched that last night, and it was good. Anybody?
Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes, it was a very creepy.
Like the documentary about it, or?
Well, I could tell you what happens at the beginning, and then it happens right away. It doesn't give anything away. There's this family that's on this road by their house, and this light goes up in the distance, and you just see this blink, and suddenly the kid's gone. Poof, gone. And the movie is about them trying to find out why.
So do they find him, Lucian?
You know what? I was gonna say that I'm actually a huge Anne of Green Gables fan. I would never watch a film like that. I'm not cut out for that.
Anne of Green Gables.
Well,
I don't
as
know
we
who that
segue into entertainment, what have you seen recently, Lucian? Anything good?
I knew that was gonna come up. I've been watching that Sherlock show.
My girlfriend likes that show.
Is it good?
It's very good.
It's better than the movie. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the movies with Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey. You know what? Here's what killed it for me. Sherlock Holmes, in my opinion, I didn't realize that he was this dirty, greasy, sort of dingy character that Downey Jr., whatever the hell his name, played.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. for me kind of turned Sherlock Holmes into a very overly aggressive autistic man, and I didn't feel good about it.
Never seen it.
the show though, the show Sherlock is actually pretty good. I've seen a few episodes, watch it with my girlfriend. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to give a shout out to this website that I found this week called What the Hell Should I Watch on Netflix?
Let's give it a test.
Oh, sweet.
Because you showed that to me last night. It's pretty dope, actually. All right,
Yeah.
so what do we want to watch, guys? A movie or a show?
Right.
I say we watch a show.
Okay, shows. Click into shows. Kyle, you picked shows. Sam, would you like to look up action, adventure, animation, comedy, crime, drama, fantasy, mystery, sci-fi, or thriller? If you're looking for a new show to watch on Netflix, Sam, what do you think?
Oh, let's do some mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Looks like Sherlock there in the picture too.
Because if we're going to watch it on TV, they're always going to cut all the cuss words and everything else. So you pick something that you like.
Top pick, Top of the Lake from 2013. After a 12-year-old girl with a bun in the oven tries to drown herself in a lake, a detective returns to her hometown in search of answers. You can go right to Netflix to watch it now. Or how about another crime series, one that has multiple seasons going for it, because this one only apparently had one. Or maybe another drama series, one that takes place in the good old US of A. Or perhaps another mystery series. One
So it's
without
like, this
Peggy
wasn't good
Olson.
enough, here's some more.
Yeah. So how about one in the good old US of A? Sorry, I got sounds playing in the background. I feel like I'm yelling. Awake from 2012. And again, a description, and then like after you read the description, it's like, oh well, maybe these will help. So I don't know. I just found this was a really cool way to pick out some
So
good stuff to watch
does that
on
mean
Netflix.
you're not supposed to do it the way I do it, which is type in horror movies 2014, get the name, and then immediately go to the Pirate Bay? Is that bad?
No, you're supposed to, when you go to Pirate Bay, you're supposed to type in Jennifer Lawrence full album.
Full album, gotcha.
Jennifer
Yeah,
Lawrence.
all pictures.
I like it, D-Lake. I like it.
I like
Yeah,
that
so-
website a lot.
So pretty cool. Everyone give that a shot. Shout out to them.
It's brilliant, and especially since Netflix, when you go to like recommended for you, they'll show you what like fits your taste profile, but they'll only show you like their new shit. They won't show you something that's been on there for a while. It's only like what they've recently added, which is kind of annoying because like everything you look through on Netflix to try and find something good to watch, the same like 30 titles pop up.
Yeah, because I wonder if they know my Netflix profile or if it's more generic. But they recommended to me a movie that had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes called The Thin Blue Line, which was a documentary made back in the 80s about a crime that occurred where a police officer was shot to death in the late 70s. And it's a movie, but it's put together. It's like the template for every single crime show that you see nowadays, with reenactments, interviews with the real people, and it just plays out really well. The music and everything about it is really good. I really liked it. It's called The Thin Blue Line, and I found it on What the Hell Should I Watch on Netflix?
I'm gonna start using that. I mean, Lucian, you have Netflix, right? Who doesn't have Netflix? I don't think like I don't have cable. I have no interest in cable anymore. I just don't want it like Netflix. I would like to like if they were to somehow merge like how like Sirius and XM merged. If they somehow merge Netflix and Hulu, like I would be like that's all you need. I'll watch stuff on Hulu, but I'm not willing to buy Hulu Plus. It's not quite worth the value. If they cut the price in half, I would do it just so I could like shoot shit onto my Chrome TV. But Netflix, I mean, they have literally everything. I found some random shit on Netflix, and I think they have what's that one movie like? It's like Ninja. I forget what it's called, but it's like they have a ton of like really good B movies and just crap that you would never see otherwise. It's a
I
good
like
place to-
movies about bees. Hey, guys, I found this. I thought it. And before I mention this person, I regret any money that I've ever given to the person because this becomes so unbelievably arrogant. It's Gene Simmons, but in this instance, he's completely and 100% correct. He said, "Rock is finally dead." Loudwire. Gene Simmons is making headlines again, but this time for burying rock and roll. The outspoken artist says rock is finally dead in an interview conducted by his son Nick for Esquire magazine. The Kiss singer-bassist also shares his thoughts on the failing record business and how he would not want to be an up-and-coming artist today. The death of rock was not a natural death, Simmons offers. Rock did not die of old age, it was murdered. Some brilliance somewhere was going to be expressed, and now it won't, because it's that much harder to earn a living playing and writing songs. No one will pay you to do it. Simmons also offers sobering advice for young musicians and songwriters, saying, "Don't quit your day job" is a good piece of advice. When I was coming up, it was not an insurmountable mountain. Once you had a record company on your side, they would fund you, and that also meant that you toured and that they would give you tour support, he adds. There are still record companies, and it does apply to pop, rap, country, and to an extent. But for performers who are also songwriters, the creators, for rock music, for soul, for the blues, it's finally dead. Rock has finally died. He continues on about how he feels for this lost generation of kids who will not have the same opportunity that he had with Kiss. It's very sad for new bands. My heart goes out to them. They just don't have a chance, Simmons remarks. If you play guitar, it's almost impossible. You're better off not even learning how to play the guitar or to write songs and just singing in the shower or auditioning for X Factor. And I'm not slamming X Factor or pop singers, but where is the next Bob Dylan? Where's the next Beatles? Where are the songwriters and where are the creators? Simmons added that he is not simply being a cantankerous offering. I'm not the guy to be pouting and complaining about stuff. I make a decent living. I'm very, very lucky. But that's because we started before chaos, in the days when people had to buy records. If you didn't like a band, you didn't buy their albums, and the people decided. In that instance, for a change, I mean, it's very rare. Gene Simmons is 100% right.
I don't know.
Right that he's old.
Yeah, he's old and stupid. Old. I love Kiss. I will say that. I love Kiss. They're a great band, but what he just said is like the old man not wanting to understand cell phones.
No,
like,
it's completely true. There isn't any place that pays anything. No one backs bands for anything.
Sure there is. YouTube. You can make money on YouTube. Anybody can make a music video now. Anybody can get famous without needing to have a record company.
But you can't earn a living at it anymore.
Sure you can. It's hard. It's not easy, but sure you can. You get on YouTube. How many people? How many bands do you know about because of YouTube? Look at fucking Justin Bieber. Like
they don't make anything either. Like I went to see.
Oh, sure they do. If you get 1 million clicks on YouTube, it's $3,000, and if you can release a song every once in a while that'll get over 1 million clicks, you can make money. You can start touring. I'm a big fan of Scroobius Pip. Scroobius Pip pretty much completely created his music fan base from YouTube and from the internet.
If he had a rich daddy could have bought all the first albums. You know what I'm saying?
The control has been taken away from the music industry. Anybody can put a song up on iTunes. Anybody can make a music video.
Yeah, but it's impossible to actually, like, I've been doing this forever. You get money at it, but even if you have a show, the place will be packed. You still end up getting nothing. And
there's people who do, and the percentage of people who do now is much, much higher than it was 20, 30 years ago. And I don't mean for it to come off like cruel, but it's way too easy to say, it's harder now because I'm not having success with it. Look at the percentage of bands who used to get through the grate. Look at how many used to. I mean, you'd have a handful of bands that people knew who they were. Now everybody's got all different types of music. Everybody's got somebody that they listen to that nobody else has heard of. You can make money on YouTube.
None of them are making any money at it. You
sure
really
they are.
Make money on YouTube.
You can. I know people who do it. You can. You can make money on YouTube. I have something to say to
David about a post he made in music.
Yeah.
Sure.
David, you posted about you're putting together your all-time hits, right?
Yeah,
rap hits.
I'm working on my top 10 rap songs of all time, according to me.
You know. Right, and then I posted TQ West Side today, but of course you didn't respond or like it or anything because you're such a jerk like that all the time when I post on your page.
Yeah, I almost deleted it.
He hits hide, remove.
Remove from my timeline. Untag.
Untag.
Unfriend. Delete.
Unfriend. Tag.
No, you posted that same song. I like that song. It's a good song. And I believe because he was with the group before his solo album that it doesn't. That I said to my other friend Big J that if the artist worked with another group and then went solo, that solo album wouldn't necessarily be considered a first album because I said no first album choices.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That song is definitely like all-time greatest rap R&B 90s song ever.
Okay, I'm glad you like it. I'll consider it.
I'm glad that you like it. I'll take it under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Have you guys ever listened to? I know I tagged you, D-Lake, in one of the posts. Have you ever listened to Scroobius Pip?
I deleted that too.
I know you did. You're such a dick about stuff like that.
Yeah,
I even post stuff like I'll send D-Lake a message. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, hey D-Lake, do you got any ideas for the show this week? And then it'll a few seconds go by, and it says seen by David.
Seen by David.
And then all of a sudden, the green little dot next to his name disappears.
Yeah.
Seen by David. Oh, archive that message real quick, man. I don't want to talk to those guys. I'm gonna archive it.
Yeah. As soon as you guys message me, I'm like, shit. I bet they know I'm on Facebook. Fucking Facebook. I'm out of here.
Disable Messenger.
How do I disable the seen by? Because I don't want people to know that I saw it and then didn't say anything.
It's so awful.
Yeah.
I hate that function.
I know.
And,
It's like,
and guys, when you go to Facebook on the right column, like I guess the chat column or whatever, it's like all your top friends, and it tells you if they're on the web or on their phone or how
Exactly,
long ago.
David. That's why
What's
you're
that?
such a big dick for not writing back, because we see you on the web and on your phone, and we're PMing you about important shit, and it's all seen by David. And
but then the
Huge
green
blow
little
up.
dot disappears, and then 10 minutes later, D like posts like some YouTube video that made him laugh. It's like, what the fuck?
Comic-Con.
I'm
like-
Marvel movies.
Maybe you're texting D Lake about the Thrill Kill Cult documentary that you're trying to make.
Yeah, then I just immediately hop off because I'm like, okay, I can't deal with that right now, Sam. Okay. Shit.
It happens.
I have to go watch AMC Movie Talk instead, and then post it to pretty much essentially let you know that I am at my computer and I'm choosing not to acknowledge you.
Like, actually call you at your house. Hey, man, why aren't you liking my stuff? I mean, what's up, dude? Like,
Yeah, like I posted like 5 things on your wall. You didn't
You guys
like
are
any
fucking
of them.
killing me. All right, yeah.
Meanwhile, D-Lake will post all of his shit on your wall. He will post he'll post
Yeah.
30 things on your wall, and he'll
Yeah, I'm
tag
like-
you.
I'm like, oh, Kyle, yeah, I remember that. I remember all those old videos of you, but go watch mine instead.
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hack his computer and release topless pictures of D Lake.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I'm gonna release pictures of you in sexy poses, and pictures where it's like from like your nose down, so it's not your whole face, but like you clearly have
I'll
like a
tell you,
beard.
D Lake, it's really
Oh,
not
beard.
hard. It's really not that
Beard
hard to
porn.
Photoshop a tutu. It really isn't.
Yeah, beard porn.
D-Like, if you wanted to hide your identity, the best thing you could do is take your glasses off and shave.
Oh yeah, for sure. You'd be like, who the fuck is that?
Like, who's that guy? I don't know him.
Dude,
Guy
I
with
shaved
the
his
jaw.
beard. I don't even recognize myself.
You look in the mirror and freak out. Like Robin Williams when he got released from Jumanji.
I would look in the mirror and think that I just had a baby.
Alright, I think this show's gone on long enough. What do you say we wrap it up?
Delete.
Yes, we have reached the end.
I'm going to post random videos from my personal channel all over your Facebook page today, D-Like.
I'm gonna go pump up that West Side song by TQ.
I'm gonna hide it from my timeline. I'm gonna click the little thing in the corner and it scrolls down. You can click I don't like this.
yeah. You know what I've taken to? Just I've downloaded an image of like a big like Facebook thumbs down and just posted that in feeds.
Yeah, because there's no dislike button. I mean, how do you guys feel about there's no dislike button on Facebook?
Yeah, because people are like, I'm feeling suicidal today, and it's all 5 people like this, and then other people are like, 31 people are like, no, don't do it. Call me now.
I did it to Sam recently. It's like Sam posted a thing saying, you know, thank you to everybody for your condolences and stuff, what you were dealing with your mom. And it's like, do I like this or do I don't want to like it because I don't want to be like, I like that your mom passed away,
I like
Sam.
that you're suffering right now.
Yeah, I know exactly what you. But see, it does prevent. I've noticed if someone on YouTube you leave a comment that you don't like, that they don't like, they'll comment like dislike the first 5 videos on your upload stream.
Oh yeah, they'll go. They're like vengeful. They look for revenge in other places since they couldn't dislike.
Thumbs down. Oh, I bet that screwed him up just now. Wait till he sees that.
I like to respond. I like leaving multiple comments that are pictures. Like I'm such a loser. I'll sit at my computer and I will find a picture online and I will put it in Photoshop with white text with black border around it and make an entire meme. I'll spend 10 minutes doing this just to leave that meme as a comment on somebody's status that I don't even know in real life. I've done this many times.
I meme slapped David the other day. He probably didn't tell you about it because it was so embarrassing. But I meme Batman
how'd you get
style. Oh, Batman style.
What does that mean?
You know the Batman slapping Robin meme?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got him good.
Yeah. Oh man, it was like he made that morning and was just waiting for me to say something, and then he sends it to me. I'm like, how the fuck did you already have that made? It's like, hey, do you
Get it ready.
I'm
What
like,
did it say?
where the fuck did that come from, Lucian? He's like, oh, I was up all night in Photoshop, dude.
I'm gonna post that so you guys can see it, and then I'm gonna tag all you guys in it.
Yeah,
All
great.
right, I'll ignore it, but you can go ahead.
I like how Lucian uses Facebook as a weapon, and then if someone doesn't get back to him in the first 5 minutes, he's like, "Fuck you!"
Have you ever had the king of this?
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Anthony Court will call you out.
Dude, I'm rarely on Facebook. When I am, I message a few people.
Sure.
Yeah, well, you
Court
wouldn't
has
know,
done this
Dick, because you're always hiding shit from your
Yeah,
I would
timeline.
know because I go on there and I'm like, oh, there's Lucian's green light. I'm out of here.
I'm never on chat. That's the thing. You could screenshot from like the beginning of time, dude. You'll never see a green light next to that name.
Yeah, D-Lake does that too. There's been times where like there is no green light, and like I'll see like I'll post something into the chat we have for like the website, which is like me, Court, D-Lake, and Sam, and randomly it'll be like D-Lake saw this, and I look at it's like D-Lake is online most at like between 3 and 5 a.m. I think that D-Lake just like lives at night. You'll like if you look at his feed, everything is posted at like 3 a.m. Everything's like I'll send him a message during the day like a normal human, and like D-Lake will get back to me, and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, oh, D-Lake responded at 5 a.m. and it's all misspelled. He's obviously drunk.
We do have a time difference. Don't forget that part.
It's like an hour. That's what's happening. But no, Court.
I think
it's
it's
tipping the
I
ball.
think it's-
That's all.
Have
think
you
it's
ever
2
had
hours
Court
in
do
my
this
notes.
to you? Court, like, he'll send you a message, and then you'll accidentally click it, and it'll say seen, and then Court will be like, I know you're there. He'll call you out on it.
See,
Yeah, I
fuck
know that you
Facebook
just
for
saw
that.
it.
It's like seen by so and so, and then it's like they obviously ignored me, but you don't really know.
No,
what's
it's
going on.
obviously
No.
exposing sincere, true-hearted radio internet friends for who they are. Ill-hearted, horrible human beings.
Yeah, bastards.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes it'll be legit, like, you're, like, about to leave the house, and you see a message, and it's somebody asking you a detailed question, like, hey, can you edit 5 hours of video for me really quick? And it's like you're about to go to the mall, and so you just kind of, like, leave.
You're like,
Because I go to the mall.
I'll respond when I get back, and it's like your green light was on the whole time. You didn't like log out. I'm like,
It's like, I left my computer on, and it doesn't go, it's just... Leave me the fuck alone, okay? Back off.
they're
I'm
obviously,
done making excuses for Facebook telling you when I'm online.
they're obviously sitting there for 3 hours ignoring me. What the?
Oh, I just here. Let me do a screen share really
They weren't
quickly.
they weren't setting up or getting ready for today's show or anything like that, Lucian. So
No, you're
Yeah.
not doing that 24/7, 365 days a week.
Here's the yeah, you literally had to.
how did he
You
have
were
that ready?
sitting on it.
Like I did something in a thing, and then he posts that. I'm like, how did you have that ready?
He walked right into it, man. He walked right into it. It was all something. Boom.
That would be hilarious. So you made it and just waited for him to say something at some point.
Yeah, he lured me into
Yeah.
a trap, is what he did.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Wait here.
All right, guys. We're going pretty long here. How do we feel about wrapping up?
That's what she
the show
said.
now?
All right, why don't you wrap it up, Lucian? Why don't you say where people can find you and everything, and then D-Like do a full wrap up for all of us. I trust you. Do you trust him, Sam? I trust him to say where he can find us.
Well, it all depends what rock you move, but yeah.
All right, so Lucian, where can people find you and stuff?
Oh, just look me up on Facebook, Indigo Children Radio Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Make
Yeah,
sure you
if you
get back
if
to
you
him
can't
right
figure
away.
that out.
Make
And
sure
make
to what?
sure you get back to Lucian right away if he messages you too. Or posts
Make
it.
sure you get
Otherwise,
back to
he'll make
David
you mean.
never. Next time David messages you, don't get back to him at all, so that he can feel like archived.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
All right,
But
D-Like.
where else can people find you besides Facebook? Your Indigo Children Radio broadcast? Is that going on?
Oh, that's going on. Yeah, you can find us on YouTube under the same name, Indigo Children Radio on YouTube, and on Facebook with these guys.
Yeah, you can find, if anybody's curious, go look up Indigo Children Radio the media. It was like I'd started like when I first started the website, and I sucked at talking live on air. I went back and listened to it a few weeks ago. It was rough. Thank you for having me on back when I was so horrible at broadcasts. I was really bad.
That was awesome. Well, we've all grown. The first few broadcasts from like 2010 is just nothing but a bunch of people like posting, get a better microphone and you improve yourself.
Sam is still going through that today.
Yeah, well, we've all come a long way except for Sam. But Sam, thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah,
And,
I have the nicest HDef of the entire crew. I'm just saying, my HDef is the bomb. So you guys are snorting something, but I love my HDef.
That's true.
This is just a webcam here. This is I don't know, but it's a webcam. Yay!
all right, I'll let the audience judge for themselves because I think
not this camera. You have to. Well, then you have to see D-Lake. I'm glad you mentioned it because if you want to see the HDef, then you have to go where you can at TheMediaSpeaks on YouTube.com. You can't answer D-Lake and I's argument until you've gone there, and then you have to go to this camera, and you can find this camera at youtube.com/thecorrectviews. You can actually watch it in 2 different cameras and get the news twice.
All right, I'm going to let D-Lake do like a closing, but I just really quickly before you're closing up, D-Lake, and then you can end the show. The way that Sam is sitting, it looks like you're on the shoulders of a bald man with like your knee coming in and out of frame. It looks like you're riding a bald man.
Today's episode starring Sam's knee, which looks like a bald guy blowing him.
It's my knee. It is my bald guy. He likes me.
It's some bald guy just hanging around Sam's house, watching him do the show.
Waiting for me to
everybody,
call
thanks
him.
for joining us today on the Media Speaks live Saturday morning news show. I'm David Lake, D Lake for Prez. Please check out myself, Kyle Phillips, KP, the technician on a mission, and also Sam IB DeGangi on the TheMediaSpeaks.com, spelled out on YouTube. Of course, that channel has been blocked. Copyright strike was placed on our account by James Yeager, fucking asshole. He tried to extort us for $5,000, but of course, Dana McClendon does like us, and he said, "Oh, I told James that there was just a bunch of people cutting and pasting our video, and I'm sorry that you guys got wrapped up in that. I didn't mean for that to happen. Well, why don't you do something about it? Tell fucking James to lift the ban right now immediately. Don't wait.
How long does it last for? How long does it last for, by the way, guys?
6 months.
Oh, Betty, that's just awful.
I'm getting soundboard.
I had a strike on my this channel that you're watching now over a year ago, thanks to whatever that asshole's name was.
P Diddy.
The guy that made Dreams for My Real Father.
Oh yeah. What a douche. All right, let's wrap this up.
All right, everyone, please check us out at TheMediaSpeaks.com on the internet. If you put The Media Speaks into Google or any other Bing-type search engine and you don't find us, you could be mentally retarded. Thank you, Lucian, for jumping in and joining us today. Everyone, please check out his channel and find him at Indigo Children Radio. Find Sam at The Correct Views on YouTube. Look up his band Passing Time on YouTube. They're pretty good. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. It's further proof that Gene Simmons is wrong. Rock and roll is not dead. How dare that old man say that shit? And everyone, please check out Kevin Costner in every single movie that he's ever made. Everybody have a great
actor.
day. Yeah, Draft Day was really good. I liked it.
I like Revenge.
Peace out.